Doctor, that's an original stamp, 2/15/06. Yes, on your letter, right? Yes. You've got some tabs on some of these things, right? Can you answer that, please? Yes, no question about it. Just for clarification, underlining and some margin writing is yours? No. So that was sent to you originally? Yes. I don't find any marks, writings, stars, any type of mark at all made by you anywhere in all those records. There may be a mark made by me. Where would that be in going through the material? Do you know that there is? There may be a check mark. Are you talking about a check mark just like that? You're telling yourself that you've looked at that document? Correct. All right, I'm talking about, I don't know if that is true or not, but I am asking a different question. I am talking about any marking, any writing, any highlighting, any of the substance of that material. Yes, sir. So what we have are some tabs that you've placed, right? Correct. Now, there's different colored tabs. Is there a code to the tabs? No, sir. Well, for example, I'm looking at this particular one. I noticed that there are some yellow ones and there are some orange ones. Is that just happenstance? Yes, sir. So you happened to pick up a yellow one time, an orange one another time? Correct. Now, how about where the tab is placed? Is that of relevance? Yes, sir. Where on the page you place the tab, you are identifying the testimony you want to draw your attention about? Correct. By the way, did you look at your letter, that bill that I was talking about? Did you look at it today or yesterday? No, sir. Well, so you didn't look to see, for example, when I had asked you when the meeting was, you did not look to see. I knew it was sometime last year, sir. Now, back to the question I was asking you. You did not look to see when the meeting was? No, sir. All right. You do remember me asking you if there were billing information at home? Correct. And you do remember saying that although you did not remember when last year the meeting was, the billing information would tell it to you? Correct. But you were not curious to find out what the answer was? No, sir. Would it have been August? The court. Of what year? Of '00? It may have been, sir. So you got the material in April of '00, is that correct? That seems correct, sir. And the meeting was in August. When, between April and August, did you review the material? I'd have to look at bills and give you a specific time. Sure, here it is. It would be between April and August. Thanks for helping me out with that, Doctor. Now, the question I was asking you, Doctor, was when you got the material in April, is that when you reviewed it? It would have been reviewed then, yes. That's not what I'm asking you, Doctor, is it? Is it? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. The court, he said that's not what he's asking you, is it? I couldn't hear. The court, that's okay, my hearing is very good. I thought that's what you were asking, sir. Are you saying or implying that you did a partial review in April? Yes, okay. So you started it and then you stopped it? Correct. Is that your recollection? Yes, sir. Would you have done only a partial review if they had asked you to expedite the review? No, sir. You would have done a complete review? Correct. I've underlined something on this. This is the initial document, I think, bringing the material to you. Just see if that refreshes your recollection. Did they ask for an expedited review in April? Yes, sir. So you would have done the review in April, right? Yes, I would have. A partial review. Well, when do you say you did the rest of whatever would complete the review? When do you say you did that? Before the meeting in August. Very good. So are you saying you started doing it in April and for whatever reason somebody called and said we don't need an expedited review, whatever it was, that you then picked it up again in August? Is that what you are saying? No, sir. Of course, when you picked it up to review it again, it was a matter you had not thought about in months. Isn't that so? No, sir. So although you had done only a partial review, it was a matter you were evaluating as these months evolved until August. Is that what you are saying? Correct, sir. So you were doing all of this cogitating about a case that you had not completely reviewed. Yes? I don't understand the question, sir. Is the problem with the word cogitating? I don't understand the question. You have told us that you had only partially reviewed the matter in April, but you said that it was not, that you then put it out of your mind until you had to review it again. So I am asking you, are you saying that in the intervening months in your busy schedule as you went from place to place treating patients, doing whatever it is you told us you do, you were thinking about a case and evaluating it and strategizing it when you had only partially reviewed it? No, sir. How's that?
That was good.
It was 200.
Okay. Question, doctor, that is an original stamp. Is that where it starts?
Yeah.
Okay. 215 or 6?
06.
06. 215-06. Answer yes. Question, on your letter, right? And then I have yes. Answer, I guess that's answer. Answer yes. Question, you've got some tabs on some of these things, right? Can you answer that, please? Answer yes. Question, no question about it.
That's silly answer.
Oh, sorry. So it's answer yes, no question about it. Question, just for clarification, underlining and some particular I'm sorry. Underlining and some margin writing is yours. Hold on. Just for clarification, underlining and some margin
Answer
writing.
no. Question, so that
yours.
was?
Right. No, I was just trying to make sense of the question.
Okay.
Answer no. Question, so that was sent to you originally? Answer yes. Question.
Sent to you originally.
Right.
Okay.
Question. Okay. I don't find any marks, writings, stars, any type of mark at all made by you anywhere in all those records. Okay, I think this is the answer. There may be a mark made by me. Question, where would that be? Answer, in going through the material. Question, do you know that there is, was that all for the question? Do you know?
That's exactly what I have too. Do you know
Do you know that there is? And then I have answer, there may be a check mark.
Okay.
It's just, yeah, that's exactly what I have there.
Okay. How do you write expedite?
I wrote
Expedite.
SPE and then dite. Expedite.
Okay.
Right? The Bush administration never met a domestic problem that tax cuts could not cure. And today in Chicago, the president is planning to call for more of the same. The centerpiece of Mr. Bush's new economic plan is to eliminate the tax on dividends that will cost the Treasury about $300 billion over the next decade. In a theoretical world, ending the dividend tax might make sense. Unfortunately, we have in the real one where it's the wrong move at the wrong time for the benefit of the wrong people. Ending the dividend tax will not provide the economy with a short-term stimulus, the ostensible goal of the plan. Investors won't be seeing their savings until 2004. While nobody can predict what the economy will look like then, we'd be willing to lay odds that there will still be a large and growing deficit made continually worse by the administration's insistence on reducing revenues. Mr. Bush has made it obvious that he expects to go to war against Iraq this year. The nation learned in the past that it cannot afford the luxury of guns and butter. The same goes for guns and tax cuts, particularly when they're directed at the most well-heeled Americans. Eliminating the dividend tax admittedly has more to commend it than does blindly cutting income taxes on the wealthiest Americans, something the president is also recommending in the form of an acceleration of the cuts Congress passed in 2001. As became all too apparent in the financial bubble of the late 1990s, the tax code currently contains some perverse incentives for companies to become overly indebted and to manipulate their short-term stock price instead of paying dividends as a form of prudent profit sharing. However, we find it hard to believe that that's the problem this administration had in mind, given the reluctance with which it pursued other reforms in the stock market. If Mr. Bush's mind had been on the long-term economy rather than on politics, he might have listened to the advice of his former Treasury Secretary, Paul O'Neill, and dropped the idea of further tax cuts altogether. But Mr. O'Neill is a former Treasury Secretary for a reason. The president cannot afford to look indifferent to the problems of average Americans in a sluggish economy. These days, average Americans own stock, although most of it is in tax-sheltered retirement funds. The dividend tax might seem like a more inclusive target than the estate tax, but it is a cynical and dangerous proposal. All around the country, states that cut taxes during the boom years are reeling from the impact on their budgets and finding it impossible to keep promises to improve education and health care. The president has wisely proposed giving them some aid, but with his deficit ballooning tax cut proposals, he is giving them very bad examples at the same time. Ending the dividend tax is something almost nobody has been crying out for, except the mega broker Charles Schwab, who made a pitch for it at the Economic Summit meeting at Waco last summer. The president happened to drop in on the panel on which Mr. Schwab was speaking and pronounced it a good idea. It may turn out to have been one of the most expensive courtesy calls in modern history. The more we learn about a case of severe corrosion discovered at a nuclear plant in Ohio last March, the more frightening the incident appears. The corrosion, which ate nearly all the way through the thick lid of a reactor, left the vessel dangerously vulnerable to rupturing. The divided Mediterranean island of Cyprus, long contorted by tensions between Turkey and Greece, can look forward to a more promising nature or future if the Turkish Cypriot leadership accepts a limited nations peace plan. Under the plan, already welcomed by the Greek side, a united Cyprus could join the European Union next year. That would benefit Cypriots from both communities and open the way for early Turkish admission to the Union. If the Turkish Cypriot leader, Rauf Denkish, succeeds in blocking the agreement, the pain and unfairness of Cyprus's armed partition could be locked in for years to come. $140. How's it?
That's good.
It's pretty hard, I thought.
Huh?
That's tough.